Welcome back everyone. I'm so excited to have you here today. So we'll be designing a captivating project. It is going to be an interactive era session for a stunning interior decoration that I recently worked on. So in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how each and every interaction is done using components and auto layout. So I'm going to be bringing in my frame, the normal frame size that we use, MacBook 16. So these are the colors I'm going to be working with. I'm going to be working with those colors. So I'm going to rename my frame to home. So I'm going to create another frame, this same size. One 728 1117. I'm going to use this rectangle for my image. I like using rectangle for my images because it makes it flexible rather than using frame for my images. So I'm going to use the same size, 1728 1117. So I'm going to centralize this. So I'm going to bring another rectangle as an overlay. So this is going to be the overlay that's going to be colored. So the overlay is also going to be the same width and the same height, 1728 by 1117. I'm going to centralize this, and I'm going to make this color the blue color. So I'm going to use my color picker to pick the blue. So you can use any color from here, just pick randomly. If you don't want this color, you can pick any color from here. So just pick from your color library. I'm going to go back to my design. Now I'm going to reduce the opacity of this rectangle, that's the overlay. I'm going to reduce the opacity. I'm going to make it 17. So I'm going to give it effect, background blur, and I put it in 10. So I'm going to name this one, and I'm going to duplicate my frame. So this is 2. So now this one, I'm going to go back to the first one. Now I'm going to go to the image of the first one and increase it, both the width and the height. I'm going to be increasing it from the side. I'm going to increase it, and I'm going to centralize it horizontally and vertically. So now I'm going to put this two in a component. So I'll align both of them and place them in a component set. So I come to this toolbar, come to that drop down, then click on create component sets. Now I'm going to copy this first one, Command C or Control C, then paste it in my home. I'm going to right click, then paste. I'm going to centralize it. So I'm going to drag this component to one corner of my design. So now I'm going to work on the navigation bar. I'm going to be creating another frame, 1728. So I'm going to put this by 100. I'm going to close this so there's not going to be color. And I'm going to type my text inside. First of all, my logo name. I'm going to use interior by Shonfumi. You can get logos from anywhere. So I'm going to change the font type. So I'm going to be working with Velway. I'm going to be working with 2 fonts in this design. Then I'm going to reduce this. So it's going to be 2 line text. I'm going to reduce the size. Let's make it 20. And I'm going to make this 28. I'm going to centralize my text. So we're still working on the frame. Let me just put a dark color here so we can see what we are designing. So when I'm done with the design, I'm going to change it. So let me just use a dark color, a dark shade. So let's just use this as a color holder. Then I'm going to write home. Then this is going to be auto since it's one line text, so it's going to be in auto. So I'm going to do a component for this home. I'm going to put this home in an auto layout. So I'm going to right click, then add auto layout, make it 8 by 8, the padding 8 by 8. Then I'm going to duplicate this also. Then that's white. This Omi, I'm not going to make it white, I'm going to make it brown. So I'm going to go pick my color picker. So I'm going to go to the color style to pick the color that I'm going to use from the color guide. So I'm going to work with this color. I'm going to highlight both of them with component set and go to my prototype, and I'm going to highlight this, take it to this one while hovering. So it's going to be on while hovering. I'm going to change this to 300. I'm going to go back to my design, and I'm going to copy this, then place to replace in this home on my frame. So I'm going to centralize this. I'm going to rename this to about. So I'm going to put these two in an auto layout. You highlight both of them, then place them in an auto layout. So I'm going to use auto layout of 14. So now I'm going to be creating my hamburger icon. I can get my icon from Iconify or any other icon plugin, but I'm going to create mine manually. So I'm going to use lines to create mine. I'm going to make the width 32. So I'm going to duplicate this 3 times. I'm going to put them in an auto layout. Good. So I've done that. So I'm going to put this by the right side. So I forgot to bring in my grid, so I'm going to introduce my grid style. I'm going to click on this frame, then layout grid. So I'm going to click on it. I'm going to come here, then put it in column. So I'm going to use count of 12. And I'm going to use a margin of 150. Then I'm going to leave the gutter 20. So I'm going to arrange all my content according to my frame. So I'm going to remove the color of the background color. I'm going to close my frame. I'm going to keep this component by the side also. I'm going to put this in my frame. Centralize it, and I'm going to make it at the top. So let's say it looks like it looks good. Okay, I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to take it up. Okay, I don't need this, so I'm going to be closing it. I'm going to drag this up. Good. So I'm going to remove everything in this design audio frame. I'm going to highlight everything in this frame, then I'm going to delete it. I'm going to make the frame blank. So this I want the frame to be. I want it to be blank. So now let's move on. So I'm going to go to my home. So I'm going to duplicate my frame, my component frame that I created, that I contracted. So I'm going to duplicate it. So I'm going to put this frame up. I'm going to take it up to the frame, to my desktop frame. So I'm going to lift it up. I'm going to move it from the y-axis. So I'm going to clip it. You can see that it's up already. So I'm going to introduce the next step. So I'm going to create a frame for this, a grid for this also. Same grid style. (12 by 150). Imagine it's going to be 150. So now I'm going to create a frame inside that. I'm going to create a frame. So now I'm going to create a frame. After creating the frame, I'm going to use this image here. I'm going to put the image inside the frame, and I'm going to resize it. Now I'm going to drag the frame inside my my desktop frame to size it. Okay. And I'm going to increase the height. I'm going to increase it so I can see how it fits. Now I'm going to duplicate this. So I'm going to reduce the first one, the width of the first one. I'm going to make it 1. So now I'm going to bring in my text. I'm going to adjust it. After creating my text, I'm going to adjust them, right align them. I'm going to adjust my, I'm going to change this interior to a different typeface. I'm going to be using Ranga, and I'm going to change the color also. So I'm making it a lighter color, using a lighter shade. So I'm going to put it in my design to see if it fits. So I'm going to be aligning it so I can see how it's going to fit in my design. So now I'm going to create another frame. This is going to be for my button. I'm going to make this the button frame. I'm going to fit it inside my design to see if it fits also. So I'm going to drag it outside this other frame. So it's going to be in the frame, but it's going to be outside. It's going to be on top of the image frame. I'm going to increase it because it's small, so I'm going to make it bigger. I need a bigger button. I'm going to make it 140 and 480. So I'm going to add corner radius. 24 is too big, so I'm going to use 16. Okay, this is good. So I'm going to drag it outside. I'm going to change the color. I'm going to make it an outline button. It's going to be an outline button. So I'm going to add my text, shop now. So I'm going to reduce the size, make it smaller, make it in auto because it's a one-line text. I'm going to add stroke so I can copy the color before I make it an outline button. So I'm going to copy this color and change my text color to this. So now I'm going to create an interaction for this button. So I'm going to add a circle. I'm going to make the circle 1 height and 1 width. So automatically becomes 1 height, 1 width. So I'm going to change the color of the circle to my color. I'm going to use my color picker to change the color. So I'll be changing the color. And I'm going to centralize the circle. And I'm going to duplicate my frame. I'll duplicate my frame. And I'm going to make the circle 2000. I'm going to make it very big. Then I'm going to centralize the circle. So I'm going to bring my text up. I'm going to make sure my text is up, is above the circle, is on top of the circle. So I'm going to make my text color white. So I'm going to put them in an auto layout in a component set. I'm going to copy this first one. I'm going to input the prototype, make it have Y overing. So while it is overing, it's going to change to the other one. So I'm going to copy my button. Now I'm going to copy my button, paste to replace. I'm going to delete this. So now I'm going to frame these two together. I'm going to use auto layout. I'm going to make it 14. Then I'll align it properly so I will know how the alignment is going to be when I bring in the interactive one I'm going to work on. So after that, I will now duplicate it. I'm going to duplicate it because this is one I'm going to be working with. Then I frame it. I'm going to put it inside a frame. Remember that a frame is a container that houses many things. So I'm going to put it inside my frame. I'm going to close the frame color. I'm going to centralize it very well so it will be well aligned. I'm going to increase it a bit. So I'm going to duplicate my frame. I'm going to duplicate it. So I'm working on the first one. I will reduce the first one. Okay, I forgot that it's in center. So I aligned it center. So it's not going to allow me to reduce it very well. So I'm going to move it from center. I'm going to put it in top and bottom. I'm going to reduce it now. I'm going to change the line height to 80. So I'm going to drag my frame, the text and the button down. I'm going to take them down. I'm going to clip the frame. Make sure it's clipped. So I'm going to drag this up. I'm going to put both of them in a component set. So I'm going to put it after delay on after delay. I'm going to change the timing also. Make it smart animate. I'm going to make it 500. I'm going to close it. Okay, I'm going to make it easy. I'm going to close it. So I'm going to drag my component and I'm going to replace here. So I'm going to replace it here and I'm going to align it properly. So I'm going to adjust it now. Now I'm going to set my prototype. After that one is done, after adjusting, I'm going to set my prototype. Come here, create a flow point. Okay, flow 4. So from the home, I'm going to link it to the second one. It's going to be on after delay. I'm going to make it 1500. Smart animate. I'm going to make it linear, and I'm going to make it 1000. So I'm going to do the same also for this. I'm going to make it on after delay, smart animate, and linear. Okay. So now I'm going to play my prototype. So this is my interaction session, the prototype. So you can see how the flow came in, and this one, and the text, how the text is going to come in. You can also see the button and the home and about. I hope you have gained valuable insights into the seamless blend of design and user interaction. If you found this tutorial helpful and you have any question about the process, please feel free to drop them in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this content and found it very inspiring. Your feedback means a lot, and if you're eager to stay more updated on UI UX tutorials and design insights, be sure to subscribe to this channel. Thank you for joining this design adventure. Until next time, keep creating, keep designing. I'll catch you in the next video. Happy designing. Bye.